Welcome back to Meaning in Christ. What if everything you thought you knew about Judas Iscariot was wrong? What if Judas, instead of being the ultimate betrayer, was actually following Jesus' orders all along? Today, we're looking into one of early Christian history's most controversial and fascinating discoveries, the Gospel of Judas. This ancient text, lost for centuries and rediscovered just a few decades ago, offers a radical reinterpretation of Judas's role in the story of Jesus. Could it be that Judas wasn't the villain we've been led to believe? For centuries, scholars knew of the Gospel of Judas only through early church fathers' references. In 180 CE, Bishop Irenaeus condemned it in Against Heresies, calling it a dangerous fabrication for portraying Judas as a secret accomplice of Jesus rather than his betrayer. What exactly did this text say, and why was it so dangerous? Irenaeus warned of its sinful nature, writing, "They declare that Judas the traitor was thoroughly acquainted with these things, and that he alone, knowing the truth as no others did, accomplished the mystery of the betrayal." In the 1970s, an Egyptian treasure hunter discovered a codex containing the Gospel of Judas in a cave. After years of mishandling, it was restored and released by National Geographic in 2006. Written in Sahidic Coptic, the codex includes 4 texts, with the Gospel of Judas offering astounding revelations. The Gospel of Judas reimagines Judas Iscariot's role startlingly. Rather than portraying him as the ultimate traitor, this gospel suggests that Judas was the only disciple who truly understood Jesus' divine mission. The text presents Judas as possessing secret knowledge that the other disciples lacked. In one passage, Jesus even tells Judas, "For you will sacrifice the man that clothes me." Is Jesus suggesting that Judas's so-called betrayal wasn't a betrayal at all, but rather an essential part of his divine plan? The idea challenges our understanding of Judas. Rather than the villain portrayed in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he is shown as crucial to fulfilling Jesus' mission. But is this interpretation accurate, or a later effort to reshape Christian theology? To understand the Gospel of Judas, we need to understand the world of Gnosticism, a branch of early Christianity that emphasized secret knowledge, or gnosis. Gnostic texts often portray the material world as the creation of an inferior god, sometimes identified as the demiurge, and teach that the true God is a higher, unknowable force. This belief is reflected in the dialogue between Judas and Jesus, where Judas says, "I know who you are and where you have come from. You are from the immortal realm of Barbelo." In Gnostic cosmology, Barbeloe, one of the first emanations from the supreme God, and Judas seems to be the only disciple who cognizes Jesus' true origin. But what does it mean that Judas is the one with this hidden knowledge? Does this make him a hero in the Gnostic tradition, or is his role even more complex? Despite portraying Judas as having secret knowledge, the Gospel of Judas doesn't necessarily depict him as a hero. In one puzzling passage, Jesus refers to Judas as the 13th demon. In Gnostic cosmology, the number 13 is often associated with the archons, or rulers of the material world. Could this title suggest that Judas, despite his secret understanding, is still tied to the flawed material realm? Scholars argue that Judas's portrayal in this text is more complicated than a simple reversal of the New Testament's narrative. Jesus still foresees Judas's betrayal, and his reference to Judas as a demon could imply that even with his special knowledge, Judas is not free from the cosmic forces that govern the world. The Gospel of Judas challenges core Christian doctrines. The 12 disciples, who are typically seen as the foundation of the church, are portrayed as ignorant and misguided. In contrast, Judas is the only one who truly understands Jesus' divine mission, though this understanding leads him to turn Jesus over to the authorities. Written at least a century after the life of Jesus, this gospel doesn't provide historical facts about Judas or Jesus. Instead, it offers us insight into the struggles of 2nd and 3rd century Christian communities. They were grappling with questions of faith, the nature of Jesus, and the role of Judas in salvation history. What if Judas wasn't simply the betrayer, but was part of a divine plan all along? The Gospel of Judas raises theological questions. In traditional Christian theology, Judas represents human failure, the man who betrayed the Son of God for 30 pieces of silver. But in this text, Judas's actions are more ambiguous. Is he the villain, or is he the instrument of divine will? Jesus tells his disciples, "No generation of people that are among you will know me." This statement reflects a recurring Gnostic theme, that true knowledge of Jesus and God is hidden and only revealed to a select few. If Judas had this hidden knowledge, does that change how we see his role in the story of Jesus? While the Gospel of Judas challenges our understanding, it also reminds us of the diverse ways early Christians interpreted their faith. The Gospel leaves us with more questions than answers, but perhaps that is its true purpose, to make us think deeper about the nature of betrayal, salvation, and divine purpose. In the end, the Gospel of Judas invites us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about Judas Iscariot. Was he the ultimate betrayer, or was his role far more complex? What does this text tell us about the nature of Jesus and his mission, and how does it fit into the broader history of early Christian thought? The answers may not be clear, but the questions are worth exploring. Thank you for joining me today as we looked into the Gospel of Judas. If you found this discussion intriguing, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the intersections of faith and history.